the strength and potential of the Brazilian mineral sector. Mining and globalization. The dynamics of large corporations confronted with the process of globalization, the need for ever larger production scales, and the demands brought about by technological innovation transcend geographic borders, consolidating transnational conglomerates through the process of fusion, the formation of joint ventures, acquisitions, and the incorporation of companies. It's an irreversible trend that many economic sectors face today, including the mining industry, where emerging countries like Brazil benefit positively from these corporate fusions. The interest large corporations are showing in the Brazilian mineral sector is closely associated to the geodiversity of the country's terrain, the potential for growth in the demand for mineral commodities in domestic and foreign markets, and other characteristics of the country as a platform for export. The comparative advantages of international class mineral deposits in Brazil, resulting from a combination of such attributes as quality, operating costs, availability of energy, provide the necessary conditions for competitiveness on the international market. Brazil, an overview and infrastructure. Brazil is the largest country in South America and the fifth largest in the world, with a total land area of 8.5 million square kilometers. It is a country with enormous business possibilities, favorable geology, a suitable infrastructure, and a solid financial market. 191 million inhabitants assure an abundant and qualified supply of labor, in addition to supporting its rapidly growing domestic market. Brazil is a young and vibrant country, with cosmopolitan cities, beautiful landscapes, and a fascinating mix of three distinct cultures: European, African, and indigenous. The consolidation of democracy and attaining economic stability are natural trends in the process of Brazil's development. Guidelines for Brazilian macroeconomic policy are based on fiscal austerity, control of inflation, and free exchange. These are guidelines that follow global economic principles and are the driving force behind a productive structure and the intensification of foreign trade. What particularly stands out in this context as a determining factor of the trust shown by foreign investors has been the sustained recovery of the country's economy since 2004. Mineral potential. The wide-ranging diversity of terrains and geological environments constitute and classify Brazil as one of the largest mineral reserves in the world, comparable to the United States, Russia, Canada, Australia, China, and South Africa. Brazil occupies a privileged position indeed, particularly due to the available quantities of niobium, tantalite, graphite, manganese, vermiculite, aluminum, tin, magnesite, and iron, among other mineral goods. The availability of geological information is fundamental to the development and success of mineral research. The country's landscapes serve as a constant setting for basic geological studies. They include high-resolution aerogeophysical surveys, whose results have given rise to increased interest by investors in mineral prospecting and research. In this way, Brazil has been successful in increasing its reserves of aluminum, zinc, manganese, niobium, titanium, bismuth, cobalt, and tungsten. Another notable result has been the delimitation of new deposits of iron ore and metallic minerals such as copper, nickel, gold, and polymetallic deposits. Mining activities. Brazil is the largest producer and consumer of minerals in Latin America. In global terms, the country has been ranked first in global production of niobium, second in the global production of iron, manganese, and tantalite, third in the production of aluminum, graphite, and magnesite, fourth in the production of dimension stones, and fifth in the production of chrysotile and vermiculite. Mining is considered essential for the sustainable development of the country. It creates jobs and generates income and revenue from foreign currency exchange, stimulating regional development and assuring a supply of raw materials for the transformation industry, while attracting investments to increase research and mineral production. Brazil has enhanced its economic competitiveness and increased job opportunities. The economic value added to the GDP from mining operations reached 28 billion reais, which is equivalent to 3% of the country's total GDP in 2008. Financial compensation for the exploration of mineral resources, CPRM, exceeded 740 million reais in 2009. In 2009, Brazilian exports of primary mineral goods represented 11% of all Brazilian exports. Brazil's strategy, focusing on a diversification of financial partners and in international economic relations, has made it possible for the country to open up trade possibilities in mineral goods with more than 190 countries around the world. At the top of the list in exports is iron ore, with China, Japan, and Germany its principal buyers. Due to its solid economy, Brazil has recovered rapidly from the economic crisis that began in 2008 and has maintained a strong, solid domestic market. In the second quarter of 2009, the Brazilian economy was able to pull itself free from the technical recession, and the cycle of economic growth that had begun in 2003, which had been so abruptly interrupted by the crisis, is back on track again. The environment and social responsibility. The utilization of mineral resources within the country is contingent on the protection, conservation, and rational exploitation of natural resources. The Brazilian mineral sector has been moving forward in step with sound national environmental preservation policy. Significant examples of this type of behavior and social responsibility can frequently be found in a large majority of mining companies operating in Brazil today. These companies seek to preserve the environment, recover areas that have been mined, and strengthen the development of those communities nearby that interact with extraction activities. As a result, Brazil's growing mineral industry has been sustained by globally competitive productive structures that optimize the distribution of income and wealth, and remain in tune with the preservation and conservation of the environment, and so ensure the quality of life for the population today and for the generations to come. This is the strength and potential of the Brazilian mineral sector, a country where competitive mining focuses on modern practices in support of the environment, contributing to sustainable development with effective social responsibility.